welcome back to another episode of Masterclass video brought to you by IPRMSA UiTM Malacca chapter. I'm Huda Razak, your host for today, and today we are going to talk about gender equality and how we are going to end the norm. So what norm? Stay tuned. In this first part, I'm going to ask my friends around about what is their opinion on gender equality. So without further ado, let's hear what them say.
I believe men and women should be given equal opportunities in education, career, and anything regardless of gender.
I believe men and women should be treated with equal rights.
I believe both men and women should share responsibilities and household chores between genders.
So what does it actually mean by gender equality? So gender equality is ensuring equality, fairness for all people of all genders. It entails eliminating gender discrimination and bias, treating people fairly, and giving them equal rights, choices, and access to resources and opportunities. Apart from gender equality, we need to also empower women. By empowering women, it means that giving them fully control over their lives, allowing them to make independent decisions, allowing them to take part of the social, economic, and also political spheres. It entails providing them with education, resources, support, and opportunities to thrive, as well as breaking down barriers that limit their potential and challenging societal norms and stereotypes that limit them. By promoting gender equality, empowering women, and combating sexism and toxic femininity are all important steps towards achieving an equitable and inclusive society. For the next part, I'm going to talk about sexism and toxic femininity. So for the first one is sexism. What is sexism? Sexism is gender-based prejudice, discrimination, or stereotyping. It entails believing one gender is superior and marginalizing the other. Sexism includes attitudes, behavior, practices, and institutional structures that promote gender inequality. Sexism affects men and women, but it mostly oppresses women. It can happen in education, employment, politics, media, and relationships. Sexism can lead to unequal resource access, limited opportunities, gender stereotypes, objectification, harassment, and denied rights and freedoms. It is critical to challenge and address sexism in order to promote gender equality, build inclusive societies, and ensure that individuals, regardless of gender, have equal rights and opportunities. For the second one is toxic femininity. Toxic femininity is less discussed than toxic masculinity. It can also be damaging habits or expectations based on traditional gender norms or femininity stereotypes. It refers to actions or attitudes that are harmful to women and society as a whole. There are a lot of examples of toxic femininity behaviors. Some of them may include unrealistic beauty standards, competitiveness and undermining, hyper-emotionalism. The term toxic femininity is not commonly used in feminist discourse because it emphasizes addressing systematic issues and promoting gender equality rather than blaming individuals for harmful behaviors. This issue has been going on a long time ago. Up until now, women mostly being discriminated all over the world and even in our own society. It was all because of gender-based violence, cultural and social expectation, and also unequal access to education. Gender-based violence. Women are particularly harmed by various forms of gender-based violence, such as domestic violence, sexual harassment, sexual assault, and human trafficking. Such violence reflects power dynamics and reinforces women's subordination. Next is cultural and social expectations. Gender stereotypes and societal expectations can reinforce discrimination against women. These expectations may limit their educational, career advancements, and personal autonomy opportunities. Inequality can also be perpetuated by stereotypes about women's roles as carers and homemakers. Last one is unequal access to education. Girls and women may face barriers to quality education in some societies. Poverty, cultural norms, early marriage, and gender biases can all contribute to girls' limited educational opportunities, limiting their potential and perpetuating inequality. Now I am going to share about an example of statistic of women being discriminated in Malaysia. According to the Voices of Malaysian Women on Discrimination and Harassment in the Workplace survey conducted by the Women's Aid Organization (WAO) in collaboration with research agency BASE, 56% of Malaysian women have experienced at least one form of gender discrimination in the workplace. This includes being asked about their marital status or plans to start a family, being passed over for promotion in favor of less qualified colleagues, and being asked to do tasks that male colleagues are not asked to do, such as making coffee and preparing refreshments. There are a lot of factors that lead to gender inequality. Some of them are because of cultural and attitudinal barriers, and also because of gender-based violence. The first factor is cultural and attitudinal barriers. Gender inequality becomes worse by deeply ingrained cultural beliefs and attitudes that devalue women, regard them as inferior, or assign them subordinate roles. These beliefs can be passed down through generations, through socialization, media, and intergenerational transmission. Next factor is gender-based violence. Gender-based violence, which includes domestic violence, sexual harassment, and sexual assaults, not only harms individuals directly, but it also reinforces power imbalances and perpetuates gender inequality. It limits women's freedom, safety, and ability to participate fully in society. It is caused by the belief that men have the right to have their desired men and be obeyed. This is about power and gender inequality. In order to achieve gender equality and empowering women, it requires collective efforts at various levels. Here are some tips and actions that can contribute to this goal. Through education and public awareness, we can encourage gender-sensitive education that challenges stereotypes and promotes equality for all genders. We can raise gender awareness through workshops, campaigns, and community discussions. And the last thing is, from a young age, we can teach both girls and boys about gender equality and respectful relationships. Next thing we can do is by eliminate gender biases and stereotypes. Unconscious biases and stereotypes that perpetuate gender inequality must be challenged and addressed. We can encourage inclusive communication and language that promotes equality and respect. And we can also encourage positive and diverse portrayals of women in the media, entertainment, and advertising. Let's see what my friend says about how to promote gender equality.
When women says no means no. Women should be treated with full respect.
If you're seeing someone being abused or even sexualized, then help them out.
Offer a listening ears and support to survivors of sexual assault.
Remember that promoting gender equality and combating sexism and toxic femininity requires a long-term commitment, consistent efforts, and a collaborative approach. We can work towards a more equal and just society for all genders by challenging societal norms, promoting inclusive policies, and fostering respectful and equitable relationships.
Together,
We can.
We can.
And the norm.